Welcome back, everyone. Last here once again with more information. All right, so this lab, this is the first time actually I do this lab for YouTube. So you're not going to get back in my history and see this. This is oh, I don't think so. This is a voice lab. The reason I'm doing this lab is because those of you that are taking CCNA and CCNP, right, you have a chapter that is focused on QoS, quality of service, right? And it's a terminology alphabet driven chapter, right? And there's tables in there that deal with IPP, that deal with DSCP, and these AF and EF values and class of service, all these different things. You're like, oh my God, where do I do this? So once you learn how to do that, right, the quality of service by creating the class maps, right? Once you create the class maps, then you create the policy map that points to the class map. And then there in the policy map is where you decide what values based on the enterprise guidelines for QoS, you give it that particular value, right? And then you apply this service policy in the router's, egress or ingress on either side of the network, what have you, right? You do your QoS stuff. But if you have the packet tracer, let's say, you have very minimum stuff, but you don't really. You need to generate traffic. So you can go through there. Normally what you do, we ping, but you have a web server. You can generate HTTP traffic. You can DNS traffic. You can generate email traffic. You can generate voice, because the phones that are there, and that's what this lab is about, right? Voice traffic, all right? Because one phone can call another phone. So this is why I decided to do this, because when I was teaching I am still teaching the CCNP, I said, you know what? I need to go ahead and do something to be able to generate just more traffic so we can actually do a good quality of service, and then we can see what exactly is going on. All right. So, and the packet tracer is the only one that really has, free phones that you can go ahead and use. And it's just good to know how to configure a phone and make it work. So let me show you the lab. Let's walk around. All right. It's not difficult. All right. You have 3 routers. The routing protocol of choice is going to be EIGRP, and the autonomous system will be 100. There's nothing configured now, by the way. I'm going to take you through steps, and we're going to do it together. All right. On this side right here, we have VLAN 1, which is the data network, and VLAN 2, which is the voice. You see they're going to have different IPs for each one. Not that you have to put one in there right now. There you just create the VLANs. All right. But we'll look at the steps. Don't worry. Okay. And then over here, we have the same thing, just different IP schemes. You see that your phones are directly connected to the switch. Normally, I do it like everybody else, and they have the phone, they have the PC to the phone to the switch. That's really not the way you should do it. But anyway, I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing this because you see this plugged into port 1, which is going to be my VLAN 1. Here is plugged into port 1, which is going to be my VLAN 1, even though it says 2.0. Don't worry about it. All right, but it's VLAN 1, where these are going to be in their own VLANs. So what does that tell you? That these ports up here need to be trunked. Now, you may say, hey, what switch is that? Well, that switch, let me show you. That switch is going to be the 36 here, this one. The 36, can you see that? 3650. There's a reason why I'm using that. Okay? And then as we go through the steps, we're going to go ahead and configure this. Now, let me get my mug back in there. All right, so what's the difference between what we're doing here? Because there's a lot of labs out there, smaller or similar to what I have, but you don't get all the juicy stuff to really make it work. They already did that behind the scenes. But I'm going to leave that to the end. All right, I'm going to make sure that hopefully the things that are supposed to be working are not working, and then you can go ahead and do it. But anyway, enough talk. Let's go ahead and start configuring. Obviously, the IP phones are going to get an IP from a DHCP server and all that. But the first thing we're going to do, oh, that's right. Let me show you the steps. Here you go. Let me show you the steps. So step 1, configure static IP addresses where needed. Step 2, create your VLANs and trunk the appropriate ports. Step 3, do your inter-VLAN configurations and configure DHCP for the scopes that you need. Then you start your telephony server or service, I should say. Wow, put server. That's what happens when you're up early in the morning. Your telephony service, which is also something that they don't tell you, which I'm going to tell you. Okay, you have then configure the routing protocol and then make calls across the network, which, if my hunch is correct, let me get my face back in here. Come on, mouse. Which is my hunch is correct, is not going to work across the network. And we're going to figure out why it's not working. All right, that nobody else is seeing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this done. So static IP addresses. All right, let's minimize that. Let's go to the router, shall we? And there you go. So let's go to router 1. Now listen, you guys need to learn how to work with this, okay? Move the lab back and forth so you can have room to work with. All right, open up that router. I hate to work up all scrunched up. I really do. And please name your devices. Name them. There's certain things that I'm going to tell you right now what you need to do, okay? So your configuration can go a lot smoother. So enable, conf t, host name. This is R0. Let's just keep whatever name it has already. It's R0, okay? Now, go to line con 0, okay? And you're going to do login synchronous. Why? Because it doesn't interrupt your typing. And if you want to take it an extra step, right, do no IP domain -lookup. So if you do a typo, okay, it's not going to sit there and just you'll be twiddling your thumbs. You can do a break command, Control-Shift-6, but we just don't want nothing to happen. Okay, so those two commands, login synchronous, well, give it a name, login synchronous, and no IP domain lookup, and you do it under the line con 0. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I can't do the G00. I can't do this one. All right, because I could really, but I'm not. These are for the intra-VLAN, these will be sub interfaces. So I'm just going to do the transit network for right now, just to get that out of the way. So config T, I'm already there. Ha ha ha. All right, interface G01, IP address, and you better know IP addressing by now. I mean, how many videos do I need to put out there? 255.205.205.252. No shode, UWR. And all right, so that's only one IP address. I'm not going to do this yet. Okay, I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to move my lab over. Go here. All right, this is host router 1, so I'll call it host name R1. Oops, name R1. Okay, interface G0/2, which is towards the left. So this is going to be IP address. 10.1.1.6, 255.255.252, no shut. And what I've gotten into the habit of doing lately is pinging as I go across, because the brain has some wires crossed. I want to make sure that we're good to go, and we can ping. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's keep going. Interface G0/1. No one, no surprises at the end. IP address. And 191.1.1.9, 255.255.252. Lovely. No shut. That's the only thing I need to do there as far as IP addressing. Move the lab over. All right. Go to the CLI. All right. Enable. This is router 2. What is it? Config. Wow. Config T. See what I'm saying? Host name R2. All right, so interface G02, and that's going to be IP address. And the 1.1.10, 255.255.252. No shut. DWR, do ping. 10.1.1.9. All right, let's see what happens. Lovely. We can ping across. Cool. Now, I'm not going to set, which you should, okay? I see people saying, I mean, I know as we evolve in technology, well, we're just going to do reservations. You're going to automate the process. It's not for server. No. Servers, switches, routers, main networking devices, resources, static IP addresses. But just to show that DHCP works, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to put it for dynamic. Okay. So we're going to come over here now into this switch right here. And the first thing that we're going to do, well, in the switch, not the first thing, but let's see. So we did this. Let's mark that off. Now we're in step 2. We're going to create your VLANs and trunk the appropriate ports. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, move the lab. Boom. Boom, chakalaka. Now, this is a switch that I'm not common to use it, but I'm going to start using it. All right, you got this little power thing. You don't have to put both. I do. Just looks cool. All right. In order to turn on, enable conf t host name MLS 0 multi-layer switch 0. All right. So we got to create the VLAN. I don't need to create VLAN 1. It is what it is. Okay. And it's already there. Do show VLAN brief. And I'm not going to change the name from default to data or nothing like that. It is what it is. Okay. So that's VLAN 1. But I am going to create VLAN 2. VLAN 2. What is it? It's voice. Oh, I'm sorry. VLAN 2. Enter. Create a VLAN. Wow. Name, voice. Now my VLAN has a voice. I mean, no, my VLAN has a name called voice. All right, so let's take a look at it. Show VLAN brief. And okay, let me make this bigger. There. So you got right now everything is on what in the world? Oh, okay. I see. But they're all these are ports. Oh, okay, let me maximize it. All these are ports. I was saying they're assigned to something? No. Okay, so all these are the ports. They're part of VLAN 1. And then obviously the voice VLAN has nothing attached to it, but we're about to. So what we have here, we're not going to do VLAN 1, port 1, because that's going to be for VLAN 1. So ports 2, 3, 4, is this 5? No, this is port 4. So it's ports 2, 3, and 4. So I'm just going to make a range and assign VLAN 2 to it. Okay. I didn't know IP domain lookup, didn't I? Oh, boy, this is a switch. Sorry. Control Shift 6. All right. You should do the same command here, but let's go. I'm trying to make this as painless as possible. All right. So we're going to do int range, and these ports are like, G10/2 through, oh, no, see, I didn't do it. G1/0/2, there we go, through G1, well, can I just do like I normally do? Can I do 15? Cool. So 15 ports. Okay. And then you still need to do switch port mode access. Right, there need to be access ports. All right, but now we're going to do switch port mode. No, switch port voice VLAN 2. Cool. All right. DWR. And then I'm just going to do it this way. Well, show VLAN brief first so you can take a look at it. So now you can see that ports. Look what I did. Oh, no, give me the range. Okay. Here's my VLAN 2. All right. And there's, okay, let me maximize this because I don't know really what's going on. There we go. So we got 2 through 15. That's one thing for VLAN, and that's that. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. Show start. Show start. Show. Yeah, it is a show start. What am I talking about? All right, so we don't necessarily see the VLAN in here, all right? Because I'm just using VLAN 1 for the data. But normally, if you create a VLAN 4 data, it would be in here as well, in underneath each port. So I kind of separated it. Is what I actually did. Show VLAN brief. You can see that the data will run on these ports, and these ports here are specifically just for voice. So understand that. Normally, you can split the port. Let me get my face back in here. No, too small. Normally, what you can do is you say VLAN 10 is data, VLAN 20 is voice, and then you can see that you do it all underneath. When you assign them to the range, both of them will be assigned to those interfaces. Both of them. You're splitting that port in two. The data and voice are going to go through it. In this case, I decided to say, you know what, I'm just going to leave VLAN 1 as data, and then VLAN 2 is going to be only voice. Only voice. Since I'm not doing your normal everyday topology of having the PC to the switch and the switch to the switch. I mean, the PC, yeah, the PC to the phone and the phone to the switch. Sorry. All right, so let's go back in here. So we created our VLANs and they're assigned accordingly. So one of the things that we need to do is trunk, right? So the trunk port, if we look at our topology, is going to be G1024. Now, this is why I chose this switch. Okay, let me show you. Config T, interface, G1/0/24, switch port mode trunk. Look at that. Normally, well, in the 3560, you have to put switch port trunk end cap, switch port trunk end cap .1Q, and then do switch port mode trunk. So let's say, nah, in the next iteration of the switch, we'll just get rid of that command. So that's why I'm using that. So I have to type 2 commands, I just type 1. But as usual, we need to verify everything we've done, which we didn't do much. We just created the VLANs, and then we trunked. Showing trunk, and you probably won't see it because the router's off. Okay. All right, so now we're done here with the switch. Are we? We're done for now. All right, and we're going to go to the router. I'm going to create the sub interfaces. This is where the IPs are going to come in. All right, so let me move this over here. Right. Come over here, make it slightly bigger. So now I'm in the router. Okay, I'm in the router. I'm inside the interface, but I'm going to make sure that I am inside. Oh, I'm inside the wrong interface. G0/0. This is your inter-VLAN configuration. So you're going to do no shut right here. Right, and then you're going to create your sub interfaces. All right, so up arrow. And .1 will be for VLAN 1. And the endcap .1Q will be 1. That number needs to match. And then the IP address will be, what is it? 192.168.1.254. This is Laz's IP scheme, okay? Not anybody else's. Spelling is incorrect, but everything else is correct. All right, so that's the data VLAN, right? So now I'm going to do another sub interface for the voice VLAN, which is 2. Same type of encapsulation. I just did a boo-boo, didn't I? Yes, I did. I changed the encapsulation for .1Q, which is the wrong answer. There you go. We put it back to .1Q1. This was a mistake. I had trigger finger, and I did the wrong thing. So I need the sub interface command. There we go. So now this is 2, and we'll verify that obviously. And then the end cap is 2, and then the IP address, which is completely different. So 172.16 actually, 172.16.1.254. 255.205.205.0. All right, so let's see if we got this okay. All right, Control C. WR, so copy. Let's do a short IP in brief. My last type, what the hell? Okay, short IP in brief. All right, so we got Subinterface 1, we got 1.254. We got subinterface 2, we got 172.16, 1.254. If we do a show start, this is what I see, 111. Here is VLAN 2. We have a 1 here, so it's okay. It's subinterface 2.1Q2, and then the 1.254, which is the 172.16. We're good to go there. And then this is the transport going across. So we're good there. So the next step, let's go to our thing here, to our little list. So we created the VLANs. We did the ports, and we did the intra-VLAN routing. But nobody's got an IP address. Nobody has an IP address. So we're going to go ahead and give everybody an IP address. That's the next thing we're going to do. So we're going to configure the ACP. We're going to do it up here. All right. Normally, you probably do it on the distribution switch, but I'm just going to do it up here. All right, so I'll do the first thing I like to do is exclusions. IP DHCP excluded. Who's excluded? Well, the 192.168.1.254. I don't want that to be allocated. And then the other one that I don't want to be allocated is the 172.16.1.254, right? Because those are my gateways. So I don't want those to be assigned to anybody. So now it's time to create the scope. So I'm going to say IP DHCP pool, and we'll call it data, right? All right, so what do we do here? So who's the default router? Well, the default router is 192.168.1.254 for data. What's the network? Network. Okay, it's going to be 170, I'm sorry. Network is 192.168.1.0, 255, 255, 255.0. Cool, done deal. All right, that's all I need. I need to know where my gateway is. That's what the default router is. This is my gateway, right? And this is where you get the IPs from. All right, cool. So now we're going to exit. We're going to create the second scope. And that's going to be the voice. So IP, DHCP, pool, voice. Okay. Default router, that's going to be 172.16.1.254. The network is going to be 172.16.1.0.255. 255.205.0. And then something very special that you must put in here. Option 150. You must put option 150. And we got a checklist here for the DHCP. Right? Where is it? Right here. See, it says option 150. And then you put in this is something else, but you point it to your voice VLAN gateway. All right, so you would say option 150. Oh my God, IP, there you go. 172.16.1.254, right? And that goes with what this just said right here. Okay, that's pointing to that. All right, you must do that for voice. If you don't put that option 150, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Cool. We're going to do WR. That should be it. Show start. And it doesn't show you it. See that? So what we do is copy, run, start. Packet tracer thing. What can I tell you? All right. You do a show start again. There you go. So there's your excluded addresses. There's the data pool. There's the where they're going to get the IP address from. There's the default gateway. There's your voice. Okay, there's the network for the IP addresses, there's your gateway, and there's the option 150 specifically for voice traffic. Cool. So we got the DHCP server up and running, but let's see if it's true. Let's see if I'm getting an IP address assigned. So I'm going to come over here to this PC. I'm going to go to desktop, come over here, and hopefully I'll get an IP address. And bada bing, bada boom, I got an IP address. That's cool. And as far as the phones, no, because we haven't done what? We haven't done telephony service. That's not there. We are here. We've done this. All right. We know it's working by testing it out on VLAN 1, but we need to do our telephony service. Okay. Let me go. I'm going to show you the commands for that. So you can print screen this, snippet, do whatever you want. So the things we're going to do is we're going to turn on the telephony service. We're going to choose how many phones, maximum number of phones, maximum number of dialer numbers. This is crucial. Let me do something different here. This is crucial. Okay? You can't forget this. All right? And then you auto assign it to however many phones you have, 1, 2, 3, if that's the case. All right? You do that. And then you create ePhone DNs. But well, as we go through it, we'll do it nice and slow. So the first thing is we need to get inside telephony service. Right? All right. Minimize that. Go here. Let's maximize this. But one of the things that I like to do is when I'm configuring is I want to take a look, see what's available underneath a particular letter to see if that command comes up. It doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. So if you were trying to do these labs and you would try to type in the telephony thing and it didn't come up, because by default in these 2911s, it's not installed. So if you were to do a do show license feature, you see that your unified call manager here, right? It's not enabled. It's not enabled. So you got to turn that on. So how do you do that? License, question mark, boot, question mark, module, question mark, C2900. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? C2900, I put CD. That's funny. C20, question mark. And then technology package, question mark. And the one you want is UCK9. Now, there is no enable. It's only disable. So what I do, I disable it. And then I up arrow. And then I hit enter again. And you see how it kind of takes effect? But you have to reload it. So I'm going to do a do WR and I'm going to do reload. So while that reloads, let me get my face in here. All right, so the router is rebooting now. So by default, these 2911s do not have that feature enabled. You need to go ahead and enable it by going to the license, boot, technology package, whatever, and choosing it and enabling it so we would be able to type telephony service. Something that is not being set out there. Okay, so the router's rebooted again. Let's go back inside. Bam. Okay, so I'm going to enable. Come T. Now we put T, and look at that telephony service. Telephony service. Turn it on. Now you have that. Question mark. What do you want to do? Well, max ePhones. Okay, max ePhones. All right, and then you want. Oh, sorry. Max ePhones. We're not going to put 42 or nothing like that. We'll just do 5. Okay, and then max dialer numbers has to match 5. Right. The other thing is you want to auto assign one. Sorry, brain fart there. 1, 2, 5. And another thing I like to do is to auto -reg ePhone. I can type that out. Cool. Why? So the maximum ePhones defines the maximum number of IP phones. The directory numbers that are supported for the maximum number of phones. The auto reg phones, it enables ePhone auto registration. Okay, and auto define the DN range for auto assignment as well. So I like to do that. All right. What happened here? Oh, okay. I was saying, I know I did it. All right. So that's done there. So after you do that, you want to exit. All right. And now what we're going to do is we did this already. Oh, boy, look what we didn't do. What I said was crucial, right? that line right there. That's crucial. All right, so I'm going to change that because that's not the right voice one. All right, so let me go ahead and just copy that. It's port 2000. Port 2000. So I'm going to go back into telephony service. Completely forgot that. Telephony service. Let's paste that. Paste. All right, so is IP source address. It's going to be 172.16.1.54. And then port 2000. Right, now we're okay. Now we're okay. Now we can exit out. So we must type this. We cannot forget this, or else it won't work. So now we're going to do the ePhone DN1, and we're going to give it an extension. DN number 2, we're going to give it an extension. Cool? All right, so I'm not going to maximize my screen there so I can see the extensions right here. All right, so for the first ePhone, really? Oh, I said move the lab, didn't I? Sure did, last. All right. So what we're going to do is, you can see there, I do an E and then a question mark right afterwards. It tells you ePhone. So this is going to be ePhone. Oops. ePhone. 1. Oops. ePhone 1. Does say exit? ePhone 1. Okay, and then we're going to give it a dialer number. So how do you do that? Well, the type is going to be 7960. Hold on. Oh, that's different. Type, you do 79. Is it 7960? Yeah, 7960. All right, that's it for that. Exit out. ePhone. Let me just go up arrow. My typing, I don't know what's going on with it. ePhone 2. Type 7960. Exit. ePhone 3. UWR. Exit out. Okay, I do that. Now we do the ePhone DN. ePhone hyphen DN, again, a number. So for the number 1 ePhone, that's going to be a number 1, 2, 3, 4. Exit out. For ePhone hyphen DN2, that's going to be number 1456. Exit out. ePhone DN3, it's going to be 1789. Cool. All right, Control Z. So when we look at this now, let's start. Let's walk through it. We have our DHCP server configuration. We have the option 150. That must be for the voice. Must be for the voice. Okay. We installed this package in order to start doing the telephony service. There's your sub interfaces right there that we checked before. There's your telephony service right there. Okay. So you have telephony service, max ePhones 5, max dialer numbers 5, crucial line. Okay. Auto assign 1 to 5. I did the auto reg phones as well. Then ePhone DN1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. ePhone dialer number 2 is 1, 4, 5, 6. Blah blah blah. And then you have all these phones. Now the phones should register automatically. The phone should register automatically. And if I just hover over it, they're not doing that. They're not registering. So what I do in the packet tracer, I fast forward through time, and I'm not going to waste your time. And then let's see if that happened. It's still not registering. They're not getting an IP address. They're not registering with this. So one of the things that, believe it or not, that needs to be, and you figure that this would be working already in a Cisco router, is CDP. So if I do enable and you show CDP neighbor, CDP is not enabled. Now, good. So CDP run, that must be on because that helps for the voice VLANs to look for that VLAN ID and you don't have to go ahead and put it in there manually. So that goes up there. All right. And if you were to do a show CDP neighbor now, show CDP neighbor, now you can see the IP phones that are there. You see that? But we're still not seeing the router, are we? So that means the router is not on either. So what do? Oh my God. Big, come on. T, there you go, big guy. CDP run, WR. And I like to verify just by looking at the CDP neighbor. Show CDP neighbor. So if that's happening too, that's on. It may be taking a little bit of time. So like fast forward just 1 or 3 times. And look what I did. The phones got registered. You see that? So if we do a show CDP neighbor, right now we're seeing something, but more importantly, look at that. They've registered automatically. So if I were to go here to this phone, I have an IP address. Well, if you just go to the GUI itself, you see that you'll have an extension that's right here. Okay. And if you just hover over it, you'll see you have an IP. So this is extension 1789. Really? That's the wrong extension. That should have been this guy. Who's this guy? Maybe I did a typo. 1456. All right, that got picked up there. So maybe I put it in wrong. I don't know. It don't matter. Well, let's put it correctly. This is 1789. And this, I think I replugged them in or did something. Oh, not the same. Okay, so let's do this. 1455. 1789. 1789. Let's put it here 1456. All right. So we go up here. That's 1456. This is 1789. Let's bring this up. 179. Let's minimize this so I can see both phones. Okay. So we're going to call 1456. 1456. It's ringing. You pick it up, connect it. Awesome. So that's working, right? Cool. So we got that working here on this side, but what do we have to do? What do we have to do? Let's get the topology back up. We had no choice. The ACP is working, obviously. Okay, let me get my face back in here. The ACP was working. We figured that out when our PC0, which is on VLAN 1, got assigned an IP address. But we had to do a couple of things to make this work, which you're not being told. One, depending on the router that you're using, make sure that you can type telephony service. If you can't, look at your license. See if that UCK9 says yes, yes. If it's no yes, then that feature is not enabled. You're going to have to install that by using the license command, right? And installing that and rebooting your router. That's one. Two, once you get your telephony service up and running and you're actually typing everything, all the ePhones and the DNs and the source port where it's going to look for port 2000 and all that, when you do all that and the phones are not registering though, even though you configured it, then check your switch to make sure that CDP is running. CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol, yes, that it's running. And it doesn't hurt anything to do CDP run. And it doesn't hurt anything to do it on both. You saw that when I did it there, and then I did it on the top, the phone's registered. CDP must be running. So a lot of things are not being said. So let's go to the other side. All right, and let's configure that. All right, so let's go up here. So yeah, we have plenty of space here. So, I'm not even sharing. Sorry. There we go. We're going to do this side. And let's do the VLANs. Again, VLAN 1 is VLAN 1. The voice VLAN is something else. All right. So here we go. MLS1. Host name MLS1. Roger that. So we're not going to create VLAN 1. It's there already. VLAN 2. Name voice. Okay. Int. Well, it's got here. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Int range. It's G1/0/2-15. There's a command rejected. Interface range. Oh, 2/2-15. Okay. And then we're going to assign that. So switch port mode access, that you need to do. They have to be access port, switch port voice, VLAN 2. Cool. DWR, let's take a look at it. Show VLAN brief. All right, we're going a little bit faster, but we did it slow enough on the other one. There they are. Strung to your appropriate port, which is right there. Conf T interface G1. Oops. G1/0/24. Yeah. Oh, that says tint. Okay. And global configuration. So conf T int G1/0/24. My God. Switch port mode trunk. And again, is because that the type of switch that it is, which is a 3650. Okay. So we got the VLANs, they're assigned to the ports, and now we trunk the ports. Cool. If we're done here, let's just do a DWR for a good measure. Let's go to the router. So now in the router, I can start doing my my intra-VLAN connectivity. Enable, conf, right? Interface G00. What do we do there? Int G0/0, and then just do a no shut. All right, cool. And then we're gonna up arrow twice. VLAN 1. No, it's not encap yet. Encap, which is short for encapsulation, .1Q1. And then the IP address is going to be 192.168.2.254, 2.5.2.5.2.5.0. That's for the data VLAN. Now we need to do a sub interface for voice. Up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. There you go. That'll be 2. Encap 2. And IP address is completely different. Class B. It's 172.31.1.254. Done. WR, Control Z. Let's take a look at it. Show IP in brief. There we got our sub interface. Correct Amundo. We have our sub interface 2 for voice. That's good to go. All right. But I also want to do my little extra check. I'm going to do it fast so you guys don't fall asleep on me. 112, sorry. But that is the native VLAN. And then here's the for the voice. So those gateways are set up. So now we're going to set up the DHCP server. Config T. What I like to do first, the exclusions. IP DHCP exclusions. IP DHCP exclusion. It's going to be 192.168.2.254. Okay, and then the other one is going to be 172.31.1.254. So I got my exclusions out the way. Let's do the pool. IP DHCP pool data. Who's in the data? So the default router is going to be the 192.168.2.254. The network is going to be 192.168.2.0, 255.255.255.0. Right, and then that's it. That's it. Well, that's all we need for the data. All right, we need exclusion and where to choose IPs from. We're going to exit that. Now we're going to do IP DHCP pool voice. Yes. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing. Default router is going to be 172.31.1.254. Yeah, sure is. And the network use IP addresses from 31.1.0, 255, 255, 255.0. Then the most importante option 150. And then we put the IP address. And then we put the IP address to who? To that particular router's, the gateway for that voice 172.31.1.254. That's correct. Enter. Done. Let's see if the DHCP is working. Remember, we got that copy run start, so we can take a look at everything. WR doesn't cut it, and the packet tracer. So show start. So there is our excluded 2.0, 2.254, 1.0, 1.254, and the option. All right, so let's check it to see if it's working. So we're going to check with the web server, even though it should be static, but not for our purposes here. See, we're getting assigned an IP address, and we are from the 2 network. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's go back to the router. Now, the same thing is going to happen. If I try to type telephony, it's not there. So we need to install a license. So license, boot, module, T2900. Right, and then the technology package, and then we have the UCK9. Remember, there's no enable, and if you hit enter, nothing's going to happen. So I disable it, and then I'm going to enable it. And that takes effect. DWR, reload, wait for the reloads. So by doing this, I think if you do it like 3 times, 4 times, that's it, it's yours. You know what's up. Oh, here you go. Finished. All right. So now we do our telephony service. Come here, enable, come T, telephony service, and enter. What do we do now? All right. We're going to do max. No. Can't type today. I just can't. Max phones. Let's put 5 again, just for the hell of it. Max, letter A, dude. Max, DN, 5. I will do the auto. The auto sign. Tab is your friend. 1, 2, right? We only got 5. Then I'm going to do the auto reg. Right? I'm going to do that one. The auto reg. Auto -R. Just tab that. And then more importantly, what is the command? IP source address. That has to be there. All right, let's just copy that. Where am I? Router 2. Yep. So paste that. IP source address. This is now I'm on router 2. So it should be 172.31. Let's go back up and find out. Okay, let's not go back up and find out. Let's look at the topology. How about that? Yeah, 31. Okay. So let's maximize that. So 172.31.1.254, and then you're gonna put a port 2000. Crucial. All right, so we got the DNs, we got the ePhones, we got the auto assign, the auto reg, and the IP source. So now it's time to create. Let me see. We gotta create our. We did the maxi phones, we did the max DNs, so now we gotta exit out. Do E, see there, ePhone 1, type 7960. So ePhone 2, type 7960. ePhone 3, type 7960. Awesome. Now we got to do the ePhone dialer. So let's exit out. We're going to do E question mark. There's your ePhone dialer. ePhone hyphen DN for number 1. All right, and then that's going to be a number. So what number did I give it? Let's move the lab over. Bring this back down here. Awesome. So the first one is 2678. 2678. All right, exit out. ePhone. What is this? Yes, ePhone DN. ePhone dollar number. Yes, I'm sorry. ePhone dollar number. Oh my God. DN. And for 2, it's going to be 2345. 2345. What happened? Let's see. We'll check on that and see if we got it. And then we'll see. We're going to just up arrow. ePhone 3. And then we do number. Oh, that's why. Number 2912. Go back to ePhone 2. The number is 2345. All right, let's Control Z, WR, and let's check it. Let's start. There's your DHCP, the license. There's your intra VLAN connectivity right there. We got 2. Transport IP. See that? That shouldn't be that. There's your telephony service, Max ePhones, Max DNs, crucial line assigned. We did the auto res as well. ePhone 1, 2678. ePhone 2, 2345. Number 2912. ePhone 1, ePhone 2, and ePhone 3. So that's good to go. All right. But again, we hover over. It's getting an IP address, and it's getting an IP address from the wrong one. Why? Because of CDP. CDP. So if you get that, and you see that you're receiving an IP address from the wrong subnet, the reason is it can't find its VLAN ID. So what are you going to do? CDP run. Don't even worry about it. Go in here and do your encrypt. Turn that on. Even if it's already on, which is not, but let's say it is, it can't hurt. So CDP run. Done. If you do a show CDP neighbor, not seeing anything. Let's give it some time. Let's fast forward through time here. Let's go back in. There we go. They're registered. So now let's see if we're getting it right. Now we're getting a 172.31, 1.254, 2678. So we're at 1.3. So we're good to go. So now let's open up this phone. This is a 2678. Okay, so I don't know why it's assigned incorrectly, but whatever. We'll figure that out. I don't know why it's doing that. This is a 2912. It's like flipped over. So that's funny that it's doing that. This is saying it's a 2912, which is this one, so they're flipping it over. I mean, the way I have it connected. So let's see if we can call. Let's call 2678. And it's working. All right, cool. No biggie. The biggest things, the takeaways, is make sure that CDP is running. And if you have to fast forward through time, that's one of the things. Now we need to call across. So the first thing we need to do is run the routing protocol. All right. No big deal. That's something all of you should know how to do, like your alphabet and multiplication tables. Enable, CompT, router, EIGRP 100, network, just costly boundaries for the sake of speed, and then network 192.168.1.0, and then network 172.16.0.0. Then I'm just going to type that just for the measure. From here, enable CompT router EIGRP 100 work interval 0. It's always a good sign. You want to see that. There we are. And then this last router here. New config T. Router EIGRP 100. Network 10.0. And network, it's 192.168.2.0. And network 172.31.0.0 and no auto. See if we're getting any of these. Let's maximize our window. Type it out. And we are getting information all the way across. All right, and what should be, this should be our PC right there. We should be able to ping it, ping, and 101.1. Oh, whatever it is, because it's getting a DHCP address. Let's see what it is. Oh, 101. Okay, so come back up here, maximize that. And we should be able to ping all the way across. And we can't. Interesting enough. Control-Shift-6. Okay. So let's see how far we can get. We have, okay, 172.16.1.0. Okay. Sorry, pain. And on the 1.5. You get there. Okay. Oh, so I tried pinging 10.1.1. Yeah, that was PC. Okay, so see 172. Yeah, the PC should be. What am I getting here? The PC is 192.168.1.1. Ping 192.168.1.1. I think I was just pinging the wrong one. Ping 192. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, cool. So we can get across. So let's see if we can make a phone call across. So let's pick this guy. This is 14. Can you make that 1456? And then this is not 2912. This is 2678. So minimize that. There's both phones. Let's call 1456, 1456. Not happening. Unknown number. All right, cool. Because there's a little extra stuff you got to do. So not only you need to put that in telephony service, you need to give the DHCP, you need to put your option 150. But now when you're going across, you need to do this command right here. This command right here. Okay? So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to actually put it right smack in this thing right here. But in order to get across, you got to use a dial-peer command. These dots that you see are just wildcard masks. In all videos out there, they tell you put 1 or 1, 2. Just put it all wildcard masks, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, and then you're going to point it to where the other phones are at, which is this guy. All right, so let's go in here. So let me see how I'm typing. Okay. So I'm going to go dial -peer voice 1. It's a number, whatever number floats your boat. Okay, and then VoIP. Name, destination, pattern. Who cares? Wildcard mask, right? 4, because we have 1, 2, 4, 5, or whatever it is. There's 4 numbers, and then the session target. Session target IPv4, and then it's this interface right here, so I can go inside that interface and be able to go down, right? 10.1.1.5. Then you got to do a regex query, right? And here it is right here. Right? That's crazy. No, you don't. Session target IPv4 : I gotta put my face back in here. You gotta see. It's friggin' case sensitive. What the hell is that? Okay, so if you do it in uppercase, you gotta enter a regex expression. But if you put it in lowercase, you're good to go, bro. That's upsetting. So in lowercase, I'm used to typing everything. You see me type everything in uppercase. This is lowercase. Lowercase. Okay? Nobody's going to tell you that except for Laz. All right, let me put this back in full screen. All right, DWR. Exit. Ooh. Sure, I can see me. Type any mistakes. Tyler Peer, question mark away through. Voice, a number. Okay, VoIP. And you have your destination pattern, all wildcard masks. If you have 5 numbers, use 5 dots or whatever. 4 numbers, 4 dots. And then in lowercase, session target IPv4 : 10.1.1.10. That's all the way on the other side to the last router. All right, so let's see. It's a moment of truth, which is our last and final step. So let's pick this guy. This is 1456 again. Let's pick on this guy. It's 2512. So let's go 145. Okay, so 2512, 2512. Really? Now we just need to check. So now we just troubleshoot, and this is what it's all about. Let's close this, open this. All right, so the phone's gonna call here. Let's see if we have connectivity from PC to PC. Let's see what this web server is. This web server is 2.3. Ping 192.168.2.3. Click once. Okay, so it just took a little bit. So we do have connectivity all the way across. We know it's not the routing protocol. Let's see if we're advertising the correct networks here. And we should be. Show IP protocols. So we are advertising 10, the 2, and the 31, right? And summarization is disabled. So that's what we want to look at. Let's take a look at the middle router, making sure the routing is correct. Enable show IP protocols. We're 10.10.000. That's correct. That's on either side. And then here, and we can ping, but we just want to make sure, check all our bases, show protocols. All right, we're 10.1.0. So we should be able to do what we need to do. So we can ping the web server to the web server. That's not an issue. Now let's see. What's the IP address of this phone right here? This is 172.16.1.1. All right. And this is 172.31.1.1. So ping 172.31.1.1. And I can get there. And I come over here. So our phones are good to go as far as that's concerned, 172.16.1.1. So we have connectivity to our phones. Now maybe in the cross whatever, let's take a look at our switch configuration. Enable, oops, Control Shift 6, Control Shift 6. Okay. I'm going to enable and just do a short and trunk first. Now, I've been able to get an IP address, so we know that it is trunk. Let's look at our VLAN, show VLAN brief. All right, we get the voice VLAN to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. We got that going on. That's all that needs to be going on there. We got 2, 3, and 4, right? The other thing that's kind of funny that I'm looking at, it says that this is phone 2912, which is this guy. Okay. And then this guy saying it's 2678, which is this guy. And this guy, who's this guy? So he's the only one that's right. 2345. All right. So let's come up here and let's take a look. Show run pipe section telephony. Yeah, correct here. 172.31, 1.54, port 5, all right. Let's just go all the way down. Gee, section telephony, so I can look at the whole thing. So here it is. That's fine. ePhone DN1, number 268. ePhone DN2, 2345. Okay. And then section 3. So I think there's they got the wires crossed. So let's take a look at this. This one's good to go. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's call 1, 2, 3, 4 to 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's what the issue is. Okay. But we're not going to troubleshoot that. We're just going to see if we can just get a phone call across. And we should. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. And there we go. So it's just the extensions are across. No big deal. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we make it a call. And that's it. But what was the caveats, the things that would get you that when you normally see a video out there? That's why it's taking so long to do this video, right? We're going on an hour 8, but we did it from scratch, all the different parts. Remember, you need to, let me get my face in here. You need to make sure that CDP is running both on the switch and on the router. Make sure that CDP is running. It should be running by default. But if it's not working, or you're getting an IP address that is not part of that VLAN, couldn't find anything ID, make sure they're on the switch. First on the switch, turn on CDP just by doing CDP run in global configuration. If it still doesn't work, go into the trunk port and do a CDP enable by that point. And then go on top and do a CDP run. If you have to go into the port, then do a CDP enable. But normally just doing CDP run on both routers is good to go. Remember, you got to do option 150, okay, in the router, pointing to the router where the telephony server is at. And you got to go ahead and under the telephony service, you got to put in the source IP address with port number 2000. Port number 2000. So keep in mind those things right there, all right? Mimic this lab. By the time you do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, it's yours. All right. You will forget if you don't keep up with it. But these are the caveats, all right, that they don't tell you. They say, oh, I just typed this. Nobody told you that the dialer command wasn't case sensitive. It's case sensitive. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Put your comments. Tell me what you think. I'll see you guys next time.